Yes, hello everyone. Very good morning to all of you. Yes, boys and girls, very good morning to all of you. Once again, welcome back on the India's largest learning platform, that is Unacademy. Yes, boys and girls, am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes. So, on this Unacademy app, we are going to provide you daily live classes, live test, quiz, structure courses, and unlimited access with one subscription. Yes, I hope all of you downloaded the app. If you haven't, please download the app because special classes and plus classes available only on app. Yes, let me introduce to myself that I'm Harshvardhan Singh, and on this platform I'm going to teach you all the aspects of history, economy and international relation. Currently my lecture series on modern India and Indian economy is going on. Along with that, I already completed the lecture series on world history and international relations. So if you haven't watched it, if you miss it, then it is available on our YouTube channel UPSC CSE English, as well as it is available on app. Yes, everyone. Those who want to connect with me, those who want to contact with me, then my address is at Unacademy app is at the rate Harshvardhan Singh for you. Those who want to know the lecture timing and all, you can follow me on Unacademy app, so as well as you're going to follow me on Telegram channel at the rate unacademy underscore Harshvardhan. Yes, everyone. I'm having 9 year experience in the field of civil services as an educator at Delhi, Pune, and Nagpur. Yes, boys and girls, these are our special classes, and these are our top educators. Please follow them. It will be really beneficial for you in your preparation. A quick recap of last lecture. What we have discussed in the last lecture. In the last lecture, we have discussed the liberal communalism. Yes, before that, I just want to ask a very favorite and famous question. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Very good morning to all of you. How many people are there? Yes, Ashwini is there. Other than Ashwini, is there anyone else? है कोई और है भाई? Yes, everyone. In liberal communalism, we have mentioned the name of the personalities. Yes, like Lala Lajpat Rai, we have mentioned. Then Madan Mohan Malviya, we have mentioned. Along with that, Allama Iqbal, we have mentioned. So these are the personalities which are related with the liberal communalism. Along with that, we mentioned one thing: why it was so. What's their idea? They want more concessions, reservation, etc. But within nation state. Yes, within the concept of nation state, that is within India, they want that. Clear? So there is a no idea of separate nation state during this time. Why this communalism is spread so much in so intense manner during this time? As I mentioned, this period is basically 1920 to 1937. Why it is spread? The simple thing we have mentioned yesterday only, that is the counterpart for Muslim communalism from Hindu side, that is in 1915 there was the establishment of All India Hindu Mahasabha. Yes, we have mentioned that in 1916 they launched the campaign known as Shuddhi. This campaign was countered by Muslims through Tabligh. In 1920, one more campaign was launched, and that is known as Sangathan. And when the Sangathan launched, they launched the Tanzim. Clear? So basically, it is a tit for tat technique, and because of that, the communalism spread or they intensified that. Yes, so this period was the period where more demand for reservation, concession, representation in government, representation in the legislature, but no clear-cut demand for separate state. Yes, so this point we have mentioned in the previous lecture. And yes, remember one thing, The remaining portion of communalism, that is part 3, we are going to discuss on the special classes. As you know, though, because of yesterday's thunderstorm and all, we are not in a position to continue the lecture. So we are going to take in the special classes, and I will let you know when, where, and at what time it will be there. Yes, everyone, do you have any problem related to last lecture? Yes, everyone, do you have any problem? Okay. Now today, yes, today is a special day for all of us. Along with that, today we are going to learn an important topic, revolutionary movement. And yes, I changed some format as well, as almost all of you can see it. It is clearly visible to all of you. And I hope all of you like that as well. Yes, everyone. Arey, say something. No, I'm not talking in front of laptop only. I'm talking with all of you. So yes, say something. अरे good morning तो कह दो भाई साहब, इतनी तो अंग्रेजी आती होगी. Yes, everyone. अरे मजाक कर रहा हूँ. This is a very famous poem written during the freedom struggle. Yes, सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है, देखना है गौर, देखना है जोर कितना बाजुए कातिल में है. ऐ शहीद मुल्क मिल्लत, मैं तेरे ऊपर निसार, ले तेरी हिम्मत का चर्चा गैर की महफिल में है. Such intensity, a passionate poem written during that time, and this poem inspired the revolutionaries in India at that time, and it is not just inspiring that time. Today, it inspired us as well. Yes, it gives us goosebumps whenever we are going to read. One more line I just want to read for you. वक्त आने दे बता देंगे तुझे है आसमां, हम अभी से क्या बता दे क्या हमारे दिल में है. Yes, so this is an important poem, and this shows the intensity of sacrifice of youth towards their nation. They want their nation to be free, and most of the time when we are going to discuss the modern India, we used to discuss the Indian national movement most of the time, and people used to neglect this portion of Indian history. It is not the case. Yes, an important contribution of revolutionary movement in India, that is, they inculcate the values and ideals of nationalism among the youth. Yes, because these youth played an important role in latter phase of Indian independence, especially during the Quit India movement. Yes, everyone, as all of you know, the important personalities in the revolutionary movement and the most iconic figure in that known as Bhagat Singh. Yes, so for you, I just want to give you the general information of the revolutionary movement. In India, we are going to divide the revolutionary movement into two phases. The phase 1, that is pre-1920, and the phase 2 is basically post-1920. What exactly the difference between these phases? His first phase is believed in individual heroism. Means by sacrificing, by killing the Britishers, by sacrificing their life, they considered they are going to overthrow. Yes, they were idealistic, but actually we are going to consider their feelings are important for nation to sacrifice their life. But but as you know, British power was a mighty. They can suppress. Yes, they can suppress this thing, and they suppressed it. We have some references of pre-1920 movement. A very best everybody knew about the thing, that is Hindustan Republican Army. Yes, Hindustan Republican Army is one of them. And the phase 2, you will get to know Hindustan Republican Socialist Army or Socialist Association, that is different form. One more is there, India House. India House, everybody knew about Shyamji Krishna Verma. Shyamji Krishna Verma, Madam Kama. They all are associated with this phase of India House. Yes, one more organization formed by Savarkar. Yes, it was a phase when Savarkar was nationalist. After that, he became the communist. It was a phase he started Abhinav Bharat. Yes, Abhinav Bharat organization. So this is the first phase, and along with there were so many individuals they sacrificed their life. And yes, most prominent in this phase, I just want to mention that is Ghadar movement. Ghadar movement is an important during because this is the first time that revolutionary started thinking, organize themselves and direct confrontation with the British government. Yes, everyone. It is the phase that is first phase we have going to discuss. The second phase basically they dropped the idea of individual heroism and they became more practical. They believe in mass movement. They believe in the mass movement, mass revolution, and the very important event happened in the world known as Russian Revolution. Russian Revolution inspired them to adopt a new strategy, new stand, and Russian Revolution. What happened? People revolted against the autocratic Tsarist regime and they ended the century-old Tsarist regime. Clear? So that's why this phase believed in the mass movement. Russian Revolution inspired that, and yes, this phase is also influenced by the idea of socialism. Yes, so this is the phase, this first phase and second phase. But an interesting fact I just want to share with you. Yes, important is that is the Hindustan Republican Socialist Association or Hindustan Republic Socialist Army. Other than that, there were so many very few organizations are there, and they also believed in the same thing. And very best example is related to the Surya Sen incident or Surya Sen, that is Chetgaon revolt, is one of the important aspect of it. But before that, yes, boys and girls, before that, I just want to tell you one important fact related to revolutionary movement. Yes, everyone, a very interesting fact. As I mentioned, this revolutionary movement, who is considered as the pillar of this movement? Who is or who are considered as the pillar of this movement? Yes, boys and girls. Yes, Ashwini. Yes, good morning, guys and girls. Those who are here, at least you can respond so that I will get to know that you are there. Revolutionary movement, pillar, to whom we considered as a pillar of this movement. They are ideology, Ashwini. Socialism, communalism, nationalism, these are ideologies. I am asking about the pillar. As we have mentioned that the pillars of Quit India movement, students and peasants are considered as a pillar of it. What about the revolutionary movement? आपको क्या लगता है कि जो ये क्रांतिकारी जो आंदोलन था, ये क्रांतिकारी जो मूवमेंट थी, उसमें किन लोगों की ज्यादा हिस्सेदारी थी? I am asking the section of society. Which section of society is participated more in the revolutionary movement? Yes, do you have any idea? What do you think about Bhagat Singh? What do you think about Sukhdev, Rajguru, Surya Sen, Ram Prasad Bismil, Ashfaqullah Khan, Roshan Singh, Jatin Das? Can we consider it as a youth? आपको नहीं लगता कि ये सारे लोग जो थे युवा थे? Yes, Ankita, you're there. Good. Individual educationalist student. Can we consider youth? As we have mentioned, the Savarkar in his initial phase, he was a nationalist. At that time, he was a student. He was in his youthful phase. So the pillar of revolutionary movement, just look at the images. How can you forget that? Youth are the backbone. Youth are the pillar of the revolutionary movement. And I just want to tell you few aspects related to youth. Youth. What is the importance of youth? Youth are energetic in nature. Yes, youth are energetic in nature. Youth are having enthusiasm. Yes, high enthusiasm. Along with that, youth can stood against, not can, youth are generally stood against injustice. Happens anywhere. Am I right? Yes, boys and girls, you all are basically belongs to that particular phase of your life. Yes, don't you think so? The youth, these are the qualities of youth. That is, youths are energetic in nature. That is, they want to change the situation. They want to change the nation. They want to change the condition, nature. Yes. Next, enthusiastic, highly energetic, highly enthusiastic. They want to participate, or they want to be a part of this change through this enthusiasm. Clear? They stood against the injustice happened anywhere in the world. And the fourth important aspect related to youth, that is, they are the torch bearer of new ideas. Am I right? They are the torch bearer of new ideas like liberty, equality, fraternity, anywhere in the world. When you're going to read about the French Revolution, Russian Revolution, Chinese Revolution, or any revolution in the world, who were the main pillars? Students were there. They are the new means they are the carrier of new idea. Let's take your example. As I considered you as a youth, as I considered you as energetic and enthusiastic, and I know whenever you are going to learn the things, you are going to react against the injustice, and that is the quality of youth. Don't you think so? Whatever the new ideas you have learned in your life, you're going to share with others. Nowadays, a very common fact I just want to share with you, and you can relate that. There are so many WhatsApp messages from the WhatsApp university graduates are circulating here and there, and such type of WhatsApp university messages are there in your family group or anything, and they based on lies. Don't you think so? You're going to counter them. You're going to tell them, no, no, this is not true. This is incorrect. Yes, this is a fake news. It is there or not? Simple. So these youth are basically enlightened by the new ideas, and they want to implement those ideas in their own country, in their own sphere. Yes. So these four are important aspect of youth, but the fifth one overshadowed these four. जैसे मैंने आप सभी लोगों से कहा है कि जो युवा होते हैं, ये युवा में बहुत सारी खूबियां होती है, लेकिन उनकी एक ही खामी जो होती है ना, वो खामी इन सभी खूबियों पे पर्दा डाल देती है. What's that? Do you know which limitation youth were having? क्या आप लोगों को पता है कि युवाओं की कौन सी एक खामी है जिस खामी की वजह से इतनी सारी खूबियां नजरअंदाज हो जाती है? Ashwini said anger. हाँ, एक और चीज, जो युवा है आप में से वही जवाब दे, बुड्ढों के लिए ये सवाल है नहीं। यस, द ओनली यूथ। ओ रुद्रा, यू आर देयर। हाँ भाई साहब, गुड मॉर्निंग करते नहीं हो, हैं पढ़े नहीं हो? Yes, everyone. Once again, yes, those who are new, again join me later. Very good morning to all of you. Violence, क्या बात कर रहे हो? कुछ भी। भाई साहब युवा है, खूनी नहीं, जो रास्ते पे उतर आ जाए, 14 पे दिख गया, निकल गए। It is not at all the case. The most important limitation, and that is the most important thing and interesting thing, that you don't know that you are youth and you don't know that. The only two youth, the most important impatient. Am I right? सही है कि नहीं? Anger. Why should be angry? The anger is there not to commit violence, not to commit violence. That anger is not. The anger is in positive terms. Yes, the anger is in positive terms. They want to change the things, but when it fail to change, then youth get frustrated. They want sudden change in the society. Am I right or wrong? They want sudden change. And why I took this point, it is related to your life as well. How? As you all are youth and you are preparing for civil services examination, and you know that all are preparing very well. But some of you means some of you might appear for previous year examination for 2020 and you fail to get desired output. That means you fail to clear films or fail to clear mains. What happened? Now you are starting doubting yourself. यानी आप अपने आप पे सवाल या निशान खड़े करने लगते हो, आपकी काबिलियत पे. The most important problem is that when you are asked raising question mark over your ability, and again you get frustrated. Instead of that, it is better to analyze from your mistakes, learn from it, and try not to commit the same mistake again. This is the important aspect, but youth never followed this. They are impatient. When they fail to get desired output, they get frustrated. And after that frustration, they committed any mistake. Clear? Let me tell you one very good example with you. As we are learning the modern India and we are learning Indian national movement. So as you know that when Gandhi came to India and he led our freedom struggle, what Gandhi said in national non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation movement, Gandhi promised that if people are going to follow Gandhi as it is, then within a year you will get Swaraj. कहा था कि नहीं? Yes everyone, कहा था कि नहीं गांधी जी ने ऐसा, कि एक साल यदि आप लोग यदि हमारी बातें मानोगे तो एक साल के अंदर आपको स्वराज मिलेगा. गांधी said it. Yes, he said. मिला स्वराज, मिला एक साल के बाद. ठीक है, हम कंसिडर एक साल और देते थे. गांधी जी ने इतना ही कहा है कि 1920 में आपने मूवमेंट लॉन्च किया. When you launched the movement in 1920 and in 1921, we can, okay, Gandhi is a new person, we can extend the time. 1922, whether in 1922 we get the independence? Of course not. What Gandhi did? Gandhi left the movement. Again, in 1930, once again Gandhi said that if you are going to follow my strategy, then you will get the success, and he launched the movement known as civil disobedience movement with the goal of complete independence. Purna Swaraj. मिला? नहीं. Again, in 1942, when he launched Quit India movement, in 1942, he launched it. So do you think so in 1942 British left India? No, they left in 1947. So remember one thing, whatever the efforts they had did in all this phase, it pays the result. It's not a wastage of time. It is not the wastage of efforts. They learn from their past. Yes, our Indian national movement learned from the past mistake, and again they confronted against the British government, and finally they emerge as a victor. It is with you as well. ये आपके साथ भी होगा. But what happened? You are in youthful phase, and impatience is an important aspect of it, and you are going to stop attempting things. Because of frustration, you are going to divert your ways. Clear? And this is the problem with you. Is that clear to you? Yes, whatever the things I have mentioned, is that clear to you? And those who considered why this person is talking all this thing, does it have any relevance? Remember one thing, whenever I used to utter a single word, each and every word is having importance related to your syllabus. बकवास नहीं करते हम, बकवास करने के लिए हमने आदमी रख दिए. Why you are taking positions? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? Is that clear to you? Good. So now, when I mention the phases, the first phase I have mentioned, the phase second I have mentioned. In the first phase, if you closely observe the beginning of a revolutionary movement in India, you will get to know when it started, when there is a failure of moderates and extremists. That is, failure of Swadeshi movement. Failure means how? Because Surat split was there. Surat split, moderates reclaimed the Congress, extremists were in jail, and now these people considered cheated. They felt cheated, they get frustrated, and because of that, beginning of a revolutionary movement. Yes, beginning of a revolutionary movement. The same way, the second phase of a revolutionary movement. Yes, in the second phase, NCM was there, and abrupt end of NCM. Again, that leads to dissatisfaction, disillusionment, frustration among the youth, and they attracted towards revolutionary movement. Clear? So, whatever I told you, you can relate. Now I am really happy that you are going to relate that thing. Whenever the national movement failed to get the desired output or anything, youth were impatient. They want to change the things, and when they fail to do that, they get frustrated, and they get easily attracted towards individual heroism, that is the revolutionary movement. But in the second phase, the youth were not believing on individual heroism, though there are some limitations as well. But now they are talking about the mass movement in all. Is that clear to you? Yes, boys and girls. Is that clear to you? Clear? Yes, Rudra. Okay, thank you. Any question, any confusion, any doubt? Clear? No question, no confusion. Good. So, yes, one more thing. As you are going to watch the lectures and all, do you like the new format? Yes, boys and girls? Do you like the new format? New slide format is there. Do you like that? Okay. Now, the next important thing, the factors responsible for phase 1. Yes, before that, one more important and interesting thing I just want to share with you. That is revolutionary terrorism. Revolutionary terrorism. As this word is very familiar to you, and if you like, if you read Bipin Chandra, then you will get to reference of this word revolutionary terrorism, revolutionary terrorist. And you know what? Once upon time, UPSC asked one question in mains examination in GS, and it talked about the revolutionary terrorism, or they called Bhagat Singh. They called Bhagat Singh as the revolutionary terrorist, and there was a hue and cry everywhere in India. How can you call Bhagat Singh as a revolutionary terrorist and all? And when I was like you, when I started reading Bipin Chandra and all, I was really shocked. Why this word revolutionary terrorist use? हम क्या कहते हैं उन्हें? क्रांतिकारी कहते हैं ना. We considered them as a patriot. We considered them as a revolutionary leaders, iconic leaders, and how the terrorist word is attached to them. The problem is not with the book. The problem with the change in the meaning of terrorist. When we used to hear the word terrorist, we used to consider an image is there. One person is carrying a gun and all, and that person is firing here and there. It is there. First of all, we are going to understand what is exactly terrorism, or word revolutionary terrorist. Terror. What is terror? Terror is an act to produce fear. Yes, it is an act to produce fear. Am I right or wrong? Now, when yes, Ankita, because I was a student like you only, a person who is always having a question in the mind. But most of the time, I didn't get the answer by any person. So I started finding my own answers. Terror, act of producing or act to produce fear. Terrifying. This act of fear, that is, this act is used against British rule. What are the instrument they using? Okay, DJ said, sir, I could not find your profile on Unacademy app. It's okay. DJ, you can have my Unacademy address at the rate Harshvardhan Singh for you. You can contact with me through there. So next thing, against the British rule. अब अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ जो भी काम कर रहे हो आप, और उसमें एक और चीज थी, one more thing, what they are going to do, how they are going to terrify British government by looting or by act of assassination. By looting, by act of assassination. This was the individual heroism concept was there. And yes, Kakori conspiracy is one of the important aspects. We plundered, yes, we Indian plundered the British revenue. So it was an act of heroism. British government shattered with that. Clear? So this is the terrifying act. and who are committing that? A revolutionary. For us, yes, for us, Bhagat Singh is a revolutionary. But when we considered, or when we can consider from the British point of view, they considered Bhagat Singh as a terrorist. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Because for them, Bhagat Singh was a terrorist. For us, he is a national hero. And as I use the word is. Why? Because Bhagat Singh is never going to die. They hang the body of Bhagat Singh. But Bhagat Singh is lived in India through his thoughts. And wherever in our country there is injustice, youth are going to stood against that, and it is a part of Bhagat Singh. Clear? So these are the acts. So why this word revolutionary terrorist is basically they were the revolutionaries. They were the revolutionaries and they took act of fearing as a tool. अब टूल आ गया भाई साहब, ये बड़ा खतरनाक वर्ड है आजकल. टूल. Took the act of fear as a tool against British government in India. Clear? That's why the word is revolutionary terrorism. Through revolutionary movement, they are going to terrorizing, they are going to create fear among the British government in India. Is that clear to you? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? समझ गए? Good. Okay. So factors responsible for phase 1 of revolutionary movement in India. First important factor, that is they want to find out the alternative for moderate politics. Youth, as I mentioned, the qualities of youth. Youth get frustrated with these moderates. क्या काम कर रहे हो वैसा वक्त है? खत लिख रहे हो, धरना दे रहे हो, मिला क्या, हासिल क्या हो रहा है? The moderates, they followed the constitutional methods like petitions, request, appeal, conferences. Youth said, no, no, this is not going to work. With this, if you're going to follow that, we will never get the freedom. As they were impatient. Yes, do you know this is the difference between the matured one and the youth one? They said we want alternative. That is an important factors behind that. They want alternative for moderate politics. Second, extremist also comes to political end after Surat split. Why? Because extremist, as you know that Tilak went to Mandale. Yes, Tilak went to Mandale. Aurobindo left active politics and joined yoga, and he became the part of Pondicherry. Lala Lajpat Rai now turned himself to liberal communist. Yes, so this is the way that, as you know, British government suppressed the extremists. They jailed them. Now what is there? What's there? Moderates, youth doesn't believe them. Extremists are in jail, and the youth. आपको डायग्राम के द्वारा दिखाता हूँ. Yes, I just want to clarify this thing with help of diagram. ये youth है, ये extremist है, ये moderates है. Moderate से ये लोग संतुष्ट नहीं है. Extremist not reachable. What to do? करे तो करे क्या? Yes, what to do? As they are impatient, they want change, they want to do something for their country. So they adopted act known as a revolution. Nadi movement. Is that clear to you? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? These are the two aspects as I mentioned, the factors. Alternative to moderates, extremists have political end after Surat split. That is the two important factors. Third, official arrogance and repression of British government continued. This is a most important factor and that made youth angry. Ronnie Ghosh, sir, when start from fill up of okay. Okay, you're going to ask about the UPSC means form. Once the notification is going to come, after that notification, you're going to fill your form. Before that, you have to read all points in the notification along with the last important thing, how to fill up the form. It is mentioned there. If you are having any problem query related to that, you can contact with me, as you know my Telegram channel as well as you know my Unacademy app address. Clear? So youth gets angry. So what kind of suppression was there? Britishers used to hang anyone. Yes, if anybody is talking against the British government, they are going to hang. They are going to impose the sedition charges. Nowadays, it is also common. The word I am talking about word, nothing else. The sedition. They charge any person on the sedition. Along with that, if they consider that these people are having potential to act against the British government, they started suppressing them. A general, it was a normal policy कि डंडे लेके आना है, रात को घुसेंगे घर में, ठोक देंगे आपको और उठा के जेल में ठूस देंगे, and without any case, without trial, you are in jail. So such kind of repression was there, oppression, arrogance of British government was there, that made youth angry. And it added more fuel as these problems were there. Partition of Bengal added as a fuel in the feeling of nationalism. Means they considered, youth considered it is a act of injustice, because whether they had discussion with Bengali people before division, of course not. They divided Bengal on religious line so that they are going to damage the nationalist movement. So this added a fuel, and that's why we considered it as a factor responsible for phase one of a revolutionary movement. The next is important, factors responsible for phase two of revolutionary movement. So before that, phase one factors are clear. Yes, boys and girls, phase one factors are clear. Clear? Any question, any doubt? कोई सवाल है तो पूछ लो. है किसी को कोई सवाल पूछना है कुछ? No? Good. The phase two of this revolutionary movement started with the abrupt suspension of non-cooperation movement. This caused frustration and disillusionment among youth. As you know that one important incident happened, that is 5th February 1922, Chauri Chaura. This is very famous incident, Chauri Chaura incident, and you know recently our current Prime Minister also want to launch something, or already launched. I don't know that. So this was an incident of shock for Gandhi. Yes, Gandhi was not happily ended that moment. He ended abruptly because it was a shock that he considered how can we kill the people, and not just kill, we burned them alive. Who were they? All the Britishers? Whether all those who had died there, whether they were Britishers only? Of course not. Indians were also there. So it was a shocking incident for Gandhi because he followed the practice of non-violence. He doesn't justify any act of violence against anyone, including Britishers. He always believed in that ideology that yes, we have a differences with the British government, but we do not have enmity with them. Clear? So this incident was there as Gandhi was a matured politician and he ended this movement. As the abrupt end of this movement made youth frustrated, disillusionment, and this create a political vacuum. How? जैसे ना कि गांधी ने क्या कहा था आपको कि आपको 1 साल में आजादी मिल जाएगी, हम आपको स्वराज देंगे. So youth participated actively in that. Now they don't have any target. उनके पास अब कोई टारगेट नहीं है. Because when they participated, there was some action plan was there. After that, no action plan. And that's why the second important thing, that is alternative politics, like of Swarajist, like of Gandhian constructive program, they fail to go them. क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो ऐसा मजा आ रहा था, जो किक उनको मिलती, वो किक उन्हें स्वराजिस्ट पार्टी में या पॉलिटिक्स में नहीं दिखाई दे रही थी. साथ ही साथ गांधी जी के जो कंस्ट्रक्टिव प्रोग्राम है उसमें भी उन्हें वो दिखाई नहीं दे रहा. Yes, everyone got it. So this create the void, vacuum. This create void, vacuum, and it is a phase of frustration, disillusionment, and that's why they were thinking on the other line, that is a new political alternative. Yes, now these youths are matured enough than the previous one. Now they were thinking on the second line, different line, to provide alternative political ideology. And this ideology is of socialism and a revolutionary terrorism. Socialism and revolutionary terrorism. And these two ideologies attracted youth. How? Socialism. Before socialism, we are going to discuss revolutionary terrorism. It's a direct ending of the enemy, attacking them, bombarding them, killing them, assassinate them, looting or plundering zamindars, as those who are pro-government. They are going to loot them. They are going to loot the British treasury as well because they considered it act as a nationalism. So it is really attractive, fascinating thing. Yes, everyone. I just want to give you one more example. Maybe you can now relate the difference between youth and old one, and how such kind of adventurous thing was, yeah, means was really considered as attractive for you. As almost all of you, I think you watched that movie. What's the name of movie? Zindagi Milegi Na Dobara. Yes, almost all of you. Those who haven't, it's okay. But you know that in that movie there was a one sport shown, bull racing something. The last ending of that. In even in India also we have Jallikattu. Yes, if you are a youth, you consider it is an adventure. adventure that you are running, you're going to have direct combat with bull. But if you're old enough, can you consider it as attractive? आप लोगों से सवाल पूछा है, आप बताइए. When you're old enough, means you're in 40s and 50s, can you consider it as attractive, or you consider it as a कुछ भी? नहीं, क्यों खामखा जिंदगी अपनी दाव पे लगानी है भाई साहब? है, बैल है वो, इंसान थोड़ी है, उठा के फेंक देगा. Am I right or wrong? That is the difference. When youth, as I mentioned, the revolutionary activities are there, that is looting and plundering of British treasury, assassinating the tyrant British officers. It was a fascinating thing. लगता है कि बदला ले लिया. Yes, we took the revenge of it. Fascinating. But once you get matured, you are thinking about the consequences of that. Not just fear of life. Yes, remember one thing. When you're going to be matured, you're not going to think, or you're not having a fear of life. You're thinking about your organization, your ideology. You're thinking about person, that if your leader is going to die, it is very difficult. If your organization is going to end because of one act, it is very, very difficult to reorganize that. It takes time, so you're going to think of it. But when you are in youthful phase, you are not going to think of it. Clear? So these two ideologies attracted, basically we are talking about revolutionary terrorism attracted them. The same way socialism also attracted them. How? ठीक है, रिवोल्यूशनरी टेररिज्म तो हम समझ गए भाई साहब, हीरो वर्शिप, हीरो एक्ट है, मजा आ रहा है. What about socialism? How you get attracted towards socialism? Now it's your turn. बहुत देर से हम ही आपको बता रहे, तो हमने भी सोच लिया, आप बता दो. Yes, those who cannot hear me very clearly, I just want to show you through the question how youth gets attracted towards socialism. How, why, whatever you want to say. How or why youth gets attracted towards socialism. बताइए. Yes, everyone, please let me know. I just want to check what you are going to think about yourself, because you are youth. And remember my words throughout your life. इतिहास में नाम और जगह बदल जाती है, घटनाएं वही होती है. Yes, Ashwini, exactly. Good, good. Go on, go on. Yes, very good. Yes, Ankita, Rudra, Ronnie. बताइए भाई. Yes, everyone, what you're going to think. एक ही लड़की बता रही है, बाकी सारे लोग फुर्सत हैं. A very important thing. What is socialism? What is socialism? Socialism believes in the concept of equality. Socialism stood against injustice, exploitation. Am I right or wrong? It doesn't mean there is a need to understand what is socialism, who invented and all. No, there is no need. If you understand the basic, it's okay. What is socialism? Socialism believes in equality and stood against the injustice, exploitation. So can we consider British rule in India were doing injustice? Can we consider, yes. Can we consider British rule exploited Indians? Yes. Can we consider the British rule were autocratic in nature? True. So don't you think so? As youth, as when I discussed the first thing, general information, I told you the qualities of youth. I told you one important point, that is youth are going to stood against injustice. They are going to react against that. So don't you think so? It is very easy for the youth to get attracted towards these new ideologies. Yes, everyone. लगता है ना कि ये दोनों आइडियोलॉजीज उन्हें yes उन्हें attract करेंगी. Of course. So what happened? What is the factor? Youth accepted both. This is an important factor, that is socialism and revolutionary terrorism. These ideologies attracted youth and it was emerged during that time and it was accepted by both by youth. These both ideologies accepted by them and that's why it is considered as a factor for second phase. Next important thing, Russian Revolution too inspired these revolutions. It's very simple. You know Lenin, he led the Bolshevik Revolution. They ended the Tsarist regime and this inspired them. Along with that, it is not just a Russian Revolution. If you consider that Bolshevik Revolution happened and Russia is welfare state. No. As those who haven't attended my World History lecture, promotion because they provide the World History lecture, please go and watch the Russian Revolution topic. In that you will get to know that Russian Revolution is not ended there. It is a continuation process and the most important part of economic reconstruction of Russia. That also inspired the youth. They considered socialism is tool. This was a theoretical word. Yes, socialism was theoretical word, but Russia implemented in practical life and they saw the fruitful result of it, and that's why it inspired them, it attracted them, and these youth want India to be work on this ground, means India to accept the socialism as an important aspect. Clear? Yes everyone, is that clear to you? समझ में आ गया है सब लोगों को, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है किसी को भी. Clear? Any question, any doubt? Yes boys and girls, do you have any question, any doubt, any query? Clear? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Yes, before that, I just want to tell you, Unacademy is going to provide you more than 15,000 courses for UPSC CSE. I hope all of you subscribe to it. If you haven't taken subscription, please subscribe because your subscription is important for us. Without your support, it is not possible for us to continue this thing. Yes, everyone, we are going to provide you the option of 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Yes, according to your own, you can take the subscription. But if you are going to take the subscription for year, it will cost around 44,550 after using my code Harshvardhan. The same way, iconic subscription, it will cost around 74,550. But if you use my code, it will cost around 67,050 only, and use it because this is going to count you as my student. Yes everyone, these are the batches we already launched from yesterday's. Please go and join that. according to your own convenience. Have it. We are going to provide you the combo offer as well. Yes. So GS iconic subscription plus optional, it will cost around 88,705, and if you take the both GS and optional plus subscription, it will cost around 70,103. These are my special classes. Here we are going to discuss other than syllabus as well. That is, we are going to discuss the MCQs. We are going to discuss question and answer. Along with that, we are going to discuss the strategies, etc. Don't miss it. It is available on app. Yes, somebody asked me the question. So my special classes available on app. And yes, those who want to contact with me, this is my address, Harshvardhan Singh, for you, through which you can connect with me on Unacademy app. Yes, everyone, is that clear? Next. Yes, these are the faces of Indian revolutionary movement. Just look at their eyes. You will get to know one thing: fearless. Ram Prasad Bismil, Roshan Singh, Ashfaqullah Khan. These were the youth. They were highly inspired by the idea of revolution. They were highly inspired by the idea of freeing their homeland from British yoke. So now we are going to discuss what's there in the first phase of revolutionary movement. First, we are going to discuss the ideology and program of phase 1. As we have mentioned, they believed in individual and group heroism. The first important aspect of the revolutionary movement phase 1, that they believed in individual heroism or group heroism, and which is of terrorist in nature. And they considered through this act of terrorism they are going to overthrow British government. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible, but if it is in the form of group, if it is a mass movement, it is possible. But as it was not there, so their ideology is basically based on individual heroism. Do not forget. Next, they believed in cult of violence, bomb, pistol, and which considered or which constituted fundamental to their ideology. No letter writing, no protest, कोई धरना नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं है. Just go through the bomb, use pistol to assassinate the tyrant British officials, terrorizing them. So this act of violence is considered as a part of their ideology. Another important aspect is to remove, yes everyone, this is an important aspect for there, is to remove the fear of British rule from the minds of Indians. Because once they sacrifice their life, they are going to present an example in front of thousands and millions of people that if I can do that, why not you? I don't have fear. That's why I told you, just look into their eyes. You will get to notice fearless. They cough. Why? Because idea is clear that they want to free their motherland from foreign rule. So this is the most important aspect of their ideology and program, that is they want to remove the fear, that is British Sarkar, My Baap Sarkar, and whatever Britishers are going to do, we cannot oppose it, we are helpless. So that attitude they want to change. Clear? Is that clear to you? The next important aspect of their program is secret society. This secret society played a significant role. How? Because this secret society played an important role in imparting training and organizing terrorist activities. यानी जो भी खुफिया उनकी जो क्या कहते संस्थाएं थी, उस खुफिया संस्थानों का काम क्या था कि जो नए क्रांतिकारी है उन नए क्रांतिकारी को प्रशिक्षण देना, उन्हें सिखाना, साथ ही साथ कि आने वाले दौर में क्या होने वाला है या कहीं पे कौन कौन सी एक्टिविटीज होने वाली है, इन सभी चीजों की जानकारी इस सीक्रेट सोसाइटी के पास होती थी. एंड यू नो व्हाट, school going children acted as a messenger at that time, and they used the code words. This is very famous, and that is an important aspect of their program and moment. Secret society. Nothing is official. Nothing is in front of everybody. Secret. Clear? Next, this is an important aspect, but sometimes we considered it as a limitation as well. So they took religion and mysticism for their inspiration. Means those stories are written in the books, the mythical books, or in religious texts. They took inspiration from it and they became the part of ideology. Means, for example, Ram is going to kill Ravan, बुराई पे अच्छाई की जीत. Yes, some mysticism that tilismic ताकत आ जाएगी, हम power ले लेंगे, हम इन्हें हराएंगे. Such kind of things were there, but they considered it as a source of inspiration. Okay? Here we are going to clarify that. But for them, religion was a source of inner strength, personal faith, inner strength, but not as a basis for their politics. Yes, it is not basis for politics. यानी उन्होंने धर्म को अपने राजनीति में नहीं लाया. मजहब, remember one thing, you're going to be a bureaucrat in future. Remember, faith is the internal part. Whether you are believing in a God or anything, it's your personal faith. It should be with you. It should act as an inner strength. It should not be act as a tool to show how much devotee person you are. Clear? And they did this thing. If you know, and I think so, none of you have ever read about the Ram Prasad Bismil, but those who read it or those who know this person from the movies, you will get to know that Ram Prasad Bismil is staunch Hindu, but his Hinduism he never wants to impose on anyone. The same means he used to pray the God on daily basis. He used to utter the chants of religious slogans, but it is not at all having any intention to impose that. He never posed that, and you know that he is having very good friendship with Ashfaqullah Khan. And the same way, Ashfaqullah Khan was basically the same devoted person, but he never wants to impose his religion over other. So remember one thing, their ideology was clear. Their ideology is having important aspect to free India from foreign rule, but they made religion as a source of inspiration for inner strength, not as a public affairs. Is that clear to you? सीखना चाहिए है ना, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो हम इतिहास से सीख सकते हैं और ऐसे लोगों से तो खास सीख सकते हैं. Because nowadays things have changed a lot. People used to consider religion as a part of politics. And what about politics? Can we consider it as a part of religion now? Of course not. They are two different aspects, politics and religion. Different. Here is a politics, here is a religion. Do not established any connection with them. It should remain as your internal pet. Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? समझ में आया है या और समझाए? Yes, Ashwini, Ankita, Rudra, good. Yes, it is visible in many countries in the world. I don't know, it is not there in India, but there are many countries where the religion and politics go hand in hand. Pakistan. Yes, before start another thing, that is ideology of program of second phase, I just want to tell you one important announcement, that is Unacademy Summit is there 2.0 on February 2021. Yes, kal or parso. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Unacademy Summit 2.0 is there, and due to the high success of Unacademy Summit 1.0, we decided to have the second thing. Here we are going to provide you 70 speakers. Yes, 70 log, or wo, they are very well known public figure. Their knowledge, their experience through the speech are going to help you in your preparation. So I request all of you to take part into that. It is free of cost, but you have to register it. Yes, it will be really helpful for you in your preparation, and most important in paper 4, क्योंकि GS 4 में क्या चाहिए आपको? Example. Yes, examples are important in GS 4, and they are the people who already set an example in front of you. Yes, everyone. Now the next slide is for you. Revolutionary movement phase 2. This phase 2 is dominated by these personalities. Yes, a very well-known person, a boy with the hat. Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru. These youth sacrificed their life, and we know 23rd March. 23rd March 1931, Britishers hanged them, and they have the misunderstanding that they are going to kill these people. Bhagat Singh is never going to die. These people, revolutionary, are not going to die, because whenever and wherever injustice is there, they are going to come and they are going to stood against any mighty power, including Britishers. Clear? So Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Rajguru, they are related to the Lahore conspiracy case. Clear? And yes, महिलाएं पहले भी पीछे नहीं थी, आज भी नहीं है, मुंह तोड़ जवाब देती है, फिर वो संसद हो या फिर रास्ता हो या फिर खेत हो. महिलाएं उतनी ही सशक्त तब भी थी, आज भी है. Yes, women power is important, and this is visible during our freedom struggle as well. And these two ladies played an important role in Chitgaon conspiracy case. Yes, Chitgaon revolution was there. In that revolt, Kalpana Dutt and Preeti Lata Wadekar. These two ladies played an important role, along with, yes, a very renowned person, Surya Sen. It is also known as Master Da. So this phase is dominating by these two groups. Yes, everyone. So before that, I just want to tell you, this phase is having ideology and program. So we are going to discuss the ideology and program related to the phase 2. First, it is rested on the principle of socialism. These youth are highly inspired by the idea of socialism. And you know what? When Bhagat Singh during his last days, he was reading about the Lenin. And it is an interesting fact, when they called Bhagat Singh, that is last call, at that time only Bhagat Singh was reading a book related to Lenin. So this is the dedication of these youth towards socialism, because they considered socialism is a tool for India's problem. It is a solution for it. Next, this ideology stood against the exploitation of British rule. Yes, exploitation of British rule. Just British rule? No. They stood against exploitation by capitalists. They stood against the exploitation by zamindars. So wherever, whoever is doing exploitation, they stood against that. Clear? A new social order. What they want? They want to create a new social structure. In that new social structure, power should be rested in the hands of peasant and worker. देश कौन चलाता है? देश कौन चलाता है? नेता, किसान और मजदूर. If you consider the number wise, these are those who are running, who are contributing our in day-to-day life of our country. They are the most important pillars of the country, and that's why they believed in that. They said that the social structure, we have to change the social structure. It should be based on equality. It should be based on liberty. It should be based on fraternity. And in this new structure, the responsibility or the power should be in the hands of peasants and workers. This is an important change. Yes, everyone, this is an important change in the revolutionary movement, that they believed in mass movement. Earlier, they focused on individual heroism, but now they appreciated the mass movement. Mass movements are important, and it is having direct impact over British government. Yes, everyone. Next, this revolution is having wider social content. What kind of wider social content? It stood for reconstruction or restructuring of new social order. That this new order, yes, this new social order is based on the principle of liberty, equality, fraternity, democracy. Clear? Next, the idea of secularism. Yes, it is important. Idea of secularism is there, and they stood against the communal forces. You know, one surprising thing is there, as this point is important, please everyone, please pay attention to that. These revolutionaries believed in the idea of secularism, because nowadays in India, people considered secularism as a useless practice. Some considered it as an abusive word like secularism. You are sick and you are following that. When such people, when such useless people use the word that secularism, it is not just laughing on those who believe in the idea of India as a secular country, because they are laughing on their revolutionary heroes as well, just like Bhagat Singh. And the most important thing we have mentioned, when they stood for secularism, at the same time they stood against the communal forces. And very surprising thing in our country nowadays, that there are people who are claiming the legacy of Bhagat Singh and communal forces. I'm really happy and shocking thing for me. Really? क्या बात कर रहे हो भाई साहब? भगत सिंह पढ़े हो कभी? Bhagat Singh was atheist, and how you are going to follow Bhagat Singh when you are atheist? Along with that, Bhagat Singh stood against the communalism, and you are supporting the idea of communalism. You are spreading hatred. Bhagat Singh never spread hatred. Get it? Bhagat Singh was one of the representative example of the second phase of a revolutionary movement, and their ideology is basically stood on secularism. Next, they believed in propaganda through action. Can you means do you remember what we have mentioned in the previous phase, their ideology? Can you see the contrast between the earlier phase and now? Yes, those who are here, there are many students are here, and I know some of the name: Ashwini, Rudra, Ankita. Please tell me, do you find any difference between this point, that is propaganda through action, versus one point we have discussed in phase 1? पता है कुछ? Yes, boys and girls, do you know that? How much time, boys and girls, you are going to take the answer to reply? It's very simple. Shall I show you? Shall I show you? Visible? Yes, everyone. Is it visible now? And here we are. Here we are. They stood for secret society, now propaganda. चिल्ला चिल्ला के बताएंगे, भाई साहब हम आने वाले हैं, हमने ये किया है, we did that, we means they accepted the responsibility, they claimed that they did that thing. They presented their ideology in front of the masses, not through any secret thing, but by telling all. It should be in public. Their propaganda through action. Clear? Next, youth is considered as a vanguard of revolution. That means this phase is believed in ability of youth. याद आ रहा है कि हमने वो जो बकवास आपके साथ किया था, जो पहले हमने आपको यूथ क्या करता है, कैसे करता है, समझ में आ रहा था क्यों कहाँ था वो सारी चीजें? Clear? And next, the last part of their ideology, that they believed in revolution by masses. क्रांति तो करनी है, तो क्रांति कैसे करेंगे? जब तक आवाम, masses, जब तक आवाम छुड़ेगा नहीं, तब तक इनकलाब नहीं आएगा. And very 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 important slogan, and this slogan is important for today as well. It gives goosebumps. इनकलाब जिंदाबाद. Yes, do you remember the slogan? Inqilab. Inqilab is basically revolution. Zindabad, long live. Long live revolution. Clear? Yes, so they believed in revolution by masses. They already dropped the idea of individual heroism. This is the difference between first phase and second phase. And you know what? If you know Bhagat Singh, or if you have read about the Bhagat Singh, you will get to notice that Bhagat Singh, within a short interval of time, he changed his ideology and he started believing that individual heroism is not going to yield any positive result in the freedom struggle. If you want really that socialism, if you want revolution should play an important role, then you have to make that revolution as a part of people. It should be people's revolution. Without that, it's not possible. Yes, everyone, clear to you? Good. Next, weaknesses. What do you consider the weaknesses of this movement? क्या लगता है आपको? And yes, one more interesting thing I just want to tell you that this revolutionary movement is a part first in this series. We are going to discuss the part 2 of the revolutionary movement as well. ऐसा नहीं है कि revolutionary movement खत्म हो जाएगी, हम आपके साथ part 2 भी share करने वाले हैं. Yes, in that we are going to mention some prelims related facts, that which organization, who is founder, what they did, we are going to discuss in this class. Along with that, we are going to discuss questions on means. Yes, what do you think? What are the weaknesses of it? Yes, Ankita, Rudra, क्या लगता है कि क्या खामियां रही होगी? या कोई भी खामी नहीं थी, सब सही था, सब चंगा सी? It's never been a case. Remember one thing, boys and girls. It has never been a case. When there are some positives are there as well as some limitations are there. What do you think? बताइए. कुछ है बताने लायक या कुछ भी नहीं है? Ankita, very good. Violence as it cannot lead to success. Yes, the violence means. Can we consider? Yes, Ankita, I just want to modify it. Can you consider that is violence attracted masses? क्या आपको लगता है कि हिंसा अमूमन लोगों को अपनी तरफ आकर्षित करती है? Of course not. No, of course not. Can we consider this act of violence? Good. Yes, we can. A very simple thing. Yes, Rudra, you're not mentioning, you're saying yes and no only. Now it is there for you. Weaknesses, very simple weaknesses. First of all, more idealism than pragmatism. It is one of the most important weakness. More idealistic than pragmatic. How? How? They believe in the power of peasants and workers. They want to provide the alternative for Indian national movement. How it is possible? It's not possible because Indian national movement was widely accepted by all. With the individual heroism, if you want to think or if you are considering that you are going to end the British power, then it is not at all be a case. Pragmatic, practical. So, what is the first weaknesses? That revolutionary movement were more idealistic, based on idealism than pragmatism. Second, in theory, they committed to socialism. Yes, remember, in theory, they committed to socialism, but in practice, they couldn't go beyond nationalism. How? How? Because socialism is a concept of establishing society based on equality. It is based on new social structure, end of exploitation. Yes, But whenever we are talking about our revolutionary people, we always talked about they sacrificed their life for India. They sacrifice life for freedom. Most of the time they are confined themselves to concept of freedom. वो भारत को आजाद करना चाहते, वो राष्ट्रवाद की बात कर रहे थे, समाजवाद की बातें लिखी थी, but in practice it's not visible. Clear? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? The second point is clear. That is the limitation. But in theory, they committed towards socialism, but in practice, they cannot go beyond the nationalism. वो सिर्फ आजादी की बातें कर रहे थे, सिर्फ भारत को आजाद करना. Next, one more in theory. In theory, social base is peasant and worker. This revolutionary movement believed in peasant and worker, यानी किसान और मजदूर, इन दोनों की बदौलत ये क्रांति लाना चाहते थे. But in real sense, this revolutionary movement is confined to urban areas. And who were the part of it? Middle class intelligentsia. यानी मध्यम वर्ग के जो पढ़े लिखे युवा थे, वही इसमें थे. किसान कहाँ थे? मजदूर कहाँ थे? यानी आप जब कहते हो कि आप जो क्रांति लाना चाहते हो उसमें मजदूर और किसान की मुख्य भूमिका होगी, and at that time you will realize that your organization or your movement is restricted to cities only, urban towns only, and only educated middle class intelligentsia participate in that. So it is a limitation. Yes. Next important limitation, that they stood in opposition to Gandhi. गांधी के खिलाफ, गांधी के लीडरशिप को ही आप चैलेंज करने लगोगे. Of course you can, because Gandhi is not a god, and Gandhi never considered himself as a god. Yes, Gandhi can do the mistake. Gandhi made mistakes and all, because he is a human being. But actually, instead of fighting against his ideology, it is better to have support him and try to make him more aggressive, try to convince him. It was there, but they stood against the Gandhian leadership, and you know what? Gandhian leadership is accepted by all. So when the masses are there with the Gandhi, and if you are opposing the Gandhi, then do you think so that people are going to attract towards you? क्या लगता है आपको? Yes, what do you think? What do you think? So instead of opposing Gandhi, it was better for them to cooperate with him, to convince him, and to tilt his ideology towards your socialism. And yes, Nehru did that. Nehru without, yes, remember, if you read this history very carefully, you will get to know that Gandhi shifted his focus from centrist to left. Centrist to left. He became very radical. He supported the idea of abolition of zamindari. He supported the idea of land reforms and all. What it shows? It shows the ideology of socialism. When they talked about the fundamental right, when Gandhi talked about Purna Swarajya, it is basically inclination towards the left. Clear? Yes, is that clear to you? So these are the limitations of this movement. Any question? Yes, boys and girls, any question, any doubt related to the topic we have discussed? कोई सवाल है किसी के मन में? कुछ पूछना चाहते हो? Yes, do you have any question? Nope. Good. No question? Good. One more weakness. Yes, one more weakness is there, and this weakness is related to lack of effective organizational structure and effective leadership. This is the most important. मीन्स आपने जितने भी अभी तक पढ़े हैं उसमें सबसे ज्यादा the most important limitation is lack of effective organizational structure. As you know that when we are discussing about Indian National Congress, Indian National Congress is having president. At center level, they have AICC, then they have CWC. Clear? At state level, this is national level. This at state level, they have state body that is known as PCC. At district level, they have district Congress committee. Here the president is there. Here the president is there. So basically, they have a cadre base. They have proper structure. Means, for example, if one person died, then the other person is going to take his position. If this person is going to die or arrest or anything, another person is going to take his position. But what about this moment? What about this revolutionary movement? If their leader died, then there is no one to take that leadership, and that leads to void. Yes, there is no proper structure. Who is going to listen whom? So this point is very important limitation of revolutionary movement. As you know that after the death of Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh and all, can you find out any such activity from Hindustan Socialist Republican Association? कभी देखा है, कभी पढ़ा है आपने? If it is there, then it is minor only. But whatever the role they played, can you consider the same role played by that organization after the death of these iconic heroes? No. And that's why I'm going to tell you this thing. Yes, everyone. Lack of effective organizational structure and effective leadership, that is one of the most important weakness of revolutionary movement. Yes, clear everyone? I hope it is clear to all of you. Yes, everyone. One more important information notification for you. 28th February, we have Unacademy Combat, 11 a.m. Format is simple, 45 minutes, 60 questions. Please attend this. Yes, everyone. Please, please, please. You have to, because here you are going to check your knowledge and your position. Yes, everyone. So that's all from my side. One more important information I just want to share you. First of all, please follow me on Unacademy app so that you will get to know the lecture timings and all. Yes, when, why, where and all you will get to know. Today we have a short lecture. The word is short, and this short lecture is of 30 minutes only. In that we are going to discuss the tribal movement, and today we are going to discuss the topic which are rarely discussed in the classes, but the questions are asked from it. So at 4 o'clock we have lecture, as well as 8:30 we have lecture, and a very interesting thing that at 9:40 p.m. we have MCQ session on modern India topic I already mentioned on top. Yes, if you like the lecture, please like it, share it, subscribe it. Yes, एक like करने के लिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं होती भाई साहब, बाकी लोग भी देखेंगे. And the most important thing, please subscribe to Unacademy. Your subscription is important for us. Whenever you are going to subscribe, use my code Harshvardhan. Please follow me on Unacademy app as well, so that you will get to know notification of special classes. And yes, last but not least, if you really like the way of teaching, please dedicate the hats which is available with you. Thank you very much for valuable time. Have a good day, great day. Stay safe. See you at 4. Okay.